All right, let's talk about something. It's a topic that, a lot of people feel is off limits, but it's absolutely crucial for having a happy, fulfilling life, especially after 40. We're going to dive into how men can keep their vitality going strong well into their 50s and even beyond, all based on the fantastic insights of Dr. Pooja. Let's get right into it.
So let's just cut to the chase. Have you ever felt that after you hit that 40-year milestone, the spark just isn't quite there like it used to be? Maybe you get a little nervous or you catch yourself making excuses. It's a really common fear, this idea that your drive just fades away as you get older. But is that really how it has to be?
But what if I told you that this decline isn't a life sentence? It's not inevitable at all. In fact, it is completely possible to feel the same energy and fire at 50 that you had back when you were 25. The whole secret is just understanding one key organ and one super important hormone in your body. If you can get that right, trust me, it's a total game changer.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain and look at what is actually going on inside your body after you turn 40. And you're definitely going to want to stick around, because toward the end, I've got a golden tip for you that can genuinely help boost your stamina, pretty much overnight.
The very first thing you need to get your head around is this. This isn't really about your birthday. It's not some unstoppable force of aging. Nope. It's about a biological system. A system that you can understand, you can influence, and you can absolutely take control of.
So why does vigor decrease in the first place? Well, it really boils down to two main reasons. I want you to think of your body as having these two critical systems that have to work together in perfect harmony. And when one of them, or sometimes both, start to slow down, that's when you start to feel it.
And this breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got the hormone factory, that's your testes, and their job is to produce testosterone. That's your fuel. Then on the other side, you've got the blood pipeline, your circulatory system, which is responsible for delivering that fuel and creating, physical firmness. For things to work right, both of these systems have to be in top-notch shape.
So problem number one is the fuel supply. See, after you turn 30, testosterone levels tend to drop by about 1% every single year. And as you can see from this chart, by the time you're 40, and especially by 50, well, that fuel tank is running noticeably lower. And less fuel means a slower engine. It's as simple as that.
And problem number two, it's all about the pipeline. Over the years, things like high cholesterol can cause a buildup inside your blood vessels. This analogy here is just perfect. It's literally like having old, rusty pipes in your house. Even if you have enough water pressure, enough blood, it just can't get where it needs to go because of the blockages. For a lot of men over 40, this is the real root cause of their issues.
So there's the problem, a factory that's slowing down and pipes that are getting clogged. But here's the good news, we can fix this. So let's get right into the actionable steps you can take to clean out those pipes and get that factory back up and running at full capacity.
Now, the solution isn't some magic pill you can buy. It's a real, comprehensive approach that's built on 3 solid pillars: exercise, diet, and lifestyle. So let's break down exactly what you need to do for each one.
Okay. Before we even touch on specific exercises, we have to talk about this. Belly fat is, without a doubt, public enemy number 1 for testosterone. Why? Because it actually contains an enzyme that takes your male hormones and actively converts them into female hormones, like estrogen. So if you're serious about regaining your vigor, getting a handle on belly fat has to be your number 1 priority. Now let's talk exercise. First up, weight training. Big compound movements like squats are amazing because they give your testosterone production a powerful kickstart and they get your blood flowing. Second, Kegel exercises. And no, they're not just for women. By strengthening your pelvic floor muscles, the same ones you'd use to stop urinating midstream, you can gain a ton more control and stamina. Moving on to diet. You don't have to do a complete overhaul right away. Just start by adding these 3 powerhouses to your kitchen. Pumpkin seeds are packed with zinc, which is absolutely essential for making testosterone. Walnuts give you those healthy omega-3s for hormone health. And garlic? It's incredible for improving circulation, basically helping to clean out those pipes we were talking about. What you take out of your life is just as important as what you put in. Alcohol and smoking are pretty obvious, but let's look at why. Nicotine directly tightens and constricts your blood vessels, making that circulation problem even worse. And stress is a silent killer. It floods your body with a hormone called cortisol, which basically shuts down testosterone production. And please do not overlook the most powerful and most underrated tool you have: sleep. Get this. A staggering 80% of your testosterone is produced while you are in deep sleep. Getting a solid 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night is more effective than any supplement you can buy. If you're up all night scrolling on your phone, you are literally closing down your body's hormone factory.
Okay, so we've covered all the physical stuff, the mechanics of it all. But that's really only half the battle. The connection between your mind and your body is incredibly powerful, and a lot of the time the biggest roadblock isn't physical at all.
For so many men, especially once they get past 45, performance anxiety is a huge, huge factor. It's that nagging little voice in the back of your head asking, am I going to be able to do this? That fear, all by itself, can be the biggest killer of desire, and it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a very real and very common psychological hurdle.
So how do you beat it? Well, the solution is really all about connection and changing your perspective. First, you have to talk openly with your partner. You're a team in this. Second, try to reframe what intimacy is. It's not some physical task with a pass or fail grade. It's about emotional connection. And finally, just be patient. As you get older, the body just needs a little more time to get ready. Focus on the journey and enjoy it. There's absolutely no need to rush.
All right, we have covered the body and we've covered the mind. Now, it's finally time for that last piece of advice I promised you. This one is simple, it's a little surprising, but it's also incredibly effective.
So, after everything we've talked about, the exercise, the diet, the sleep, the stress management, what's the one golden tip that can give you that little extra edge?
Here it is. Apply cold water to your testicles. Now I know, it sounds a little strange, but there is solid science behind this. Your testes are outside your body for one simple reason, to stay cooler than your core body temperature. Heat, whether it's from tight underwear or long hot showers, is terrible for testosterone production, so a quick splash of cold water actually helps them function at their best.
So as we wrap things up here, let's just take a look at the big picture. All of this advice is even more important if you're dealing with conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure, because those directly attack your sexual health. So get those conditions under control, manage your weight, and maybe most importantly, get that fear of getting old out of your head.
And this quote from Dr. Pooja just says it all perfectly, doesn't it? Age really is just a number. The power is truly in your hands. By taking care of your body, communicating openly, and acting on the right information, you hold the key to a vibrant, exciting life at any age. And that leaves us with one final thought. We've talked about weight training and Kegels, but what about yoga? There are actually specific poses that can be used to boost circulation and improve hormonal health. If you'd like us to do a whole explainer on that, just let us know by commenting yes below. Thanks for tuning in.